Welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to be taking a break from doing some body work. We have the 416, good old LS, tried and true, best mod I've ever done to the car, 1000%. We're gonna be taking her down a little bit, disassembling, checking out the inside, and I need to measure the heads. So I wanna do a custom cam for next year. Right now it's got a little baby cam in it. That's great, made power everywhere. I'd like to get a little bit more out of it. So we're gonna take the heads off, measure the combustion volume because they have previously been decked, and I don't know how much, so I need to figure that out. That will also help us do a valve to deck measurement so we can figure out how much piston to valve clearance I have. This does have CP pistons, flat tops with valve reliefs already in it, but I just wanna get everything perfect so whatever cam company I decide to go with can spec it out for exactly what I need. Actually, let's start with what is this thing for you guys that, maybe are new here or haven't been around. I haven't also been filming in a while. This is my 416 LS3. Starting from bottom to top, it is a daily dry sump. It has a 4-inch crankshaft in it from Liberty Performance. It has 6 125 rods from Liberty Performance as well. CP pistons, flat top with valve reliefs. It has Trick Flow 255 heads. These are pretty banging. I really like them. It goes from a 15-degree valve angle to a 12-degree valve angle for better airflow. Next year, we are going to run this CID single plane manifold, move RPMs way up there. Not too high, not too high. Reliability. We are using a 4500 throttle body with our custom drive-by-wire mod. We'll go over that later. That is in its final steps of prototype. So far works good, but I need to do some more real world testing. Under the valve covers, this has Crowler shaft mounted rockers, which is really good for high RPM, sustainability. So this thing it's pretty built. I mean, we got long tube headers on the side, stuff like that. I gotta redo headers for next year anyway. As an engine, it's pretty stout. It's pretty banging. Last year we ran the fast LSX 103 with a 103 throttle body that had some longer runners. My goal was to use the whole RPM band, which I totally did. And I totally didn't at the same time. I thought, yeah, it's an LS. I need 2,500 RPM to 7,000 RPM, usable power. Well, with the 8-speed, I just click gears. So after going through every single track, all the data, all of my fastest laps, everything, we never really used below 4,500. Now that intake manifold setup is prime for someone that wants under 4,500 torque. I don't really need that anymore. So that's part of the reason why we're switching to the CID. Also, a custom cam can move that power band forward. I'll take an extra 50, 60 horsepower. I'm okay losing 50 or 60 torque download because frankly, just on track, I'll never use that. That's just not how my setup is needed. Let's get these heads off and see what's inside. Now we'll remove these. They're in sets, obviously, for each cylinder. They're shaft mounted, so there's a shaft that runs through and connects them, connects each cylinder. It's not a single shaft. There is just a single plate that sits behind the whole thing that mounts to the head. So we're gonna go through, loosen these up, and pop all these off. Those are all out. We're just left with this plate, and this is the part that bolts to the head that holds each set of the roller rockers. We need to unbolt this just because the head bolts are below it. So we'll take this off. There's a shim behind it. Just keep everything in order and put it in our nice box. Hell yeah. All right, we like that. Head gasket, nice and fully intact. Keep this because we gotta measure this, figure out the thickness. There's nothing really more you can hope for when disassembling an engine other than to have everything look good. I mean, all the pistons look the same. They all got the same amount of carbon buildup. All the cross hatching's still in the walls. There is no vertical marks anywhere or lines, so everything is looking really good. So the next step is to measure deck surface to the top of the valve. So that way we know, or the camshaft supplier knows when they apply so much lift, how far this can come out, and so we don't touch a piston. Valve, piston, bad. I think everything looks really good. I'm very happy with everything. Okay, there's a bunch of ways to skin this cat. For me, I think this is gonna be the easiest way. I have 2 machinist blocks that I'm just going to put on the deck, and I'm gonna take a dial indicator. And what I'm gonna do is I'm going to measure where the top of the piston, or where the top of the valve currently is, and I'm going to 0 that. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm going to press it on the top surface of the deck and figure out where that measurement is. And since I already 0'd here, all I'm doing, and this dial down here tells me how many rotations. So right now we're almost at 4 rotations. And then we'll go down here and we'll see, okay, I've done 4 full rotations because we're at the 8 now. This is at 14 thou. So I know that each one of a full rotation is 50 thou, 4 rotations is 200 thou, and 14. So this depth from the deck surface to the top of the valve is 214 thousandths of an inch. What does that mean? I don't know. I don't build engines. I'm gonna let the cam guy tell me. So I'm gonna just do the same thing to the exhaust valve now, is I will move this back and forth and see where the dial stops. That's my peak height of the valve. And I'm going to spin this, recenter it, well, re-zero it, and I kind of shim it back and forth, and I can see when it stops rotating and starts to rotate the other way. That's where I know my 0 height is. This would be 3.5 thou, 5 rotations. So that would be 250 plus 3.5 thousandths. Theoretical max, I can move the valve. I'm gonna do this a couple times just to make sure I'm spot on. Still 3.5 again. Okay, so what that will tell me, the max distance this piston can move until the piston is theoretically level with the deck surface. I know I have piston valve reliefs. We can measure that as well, or I think you could probably just look that up from CP. And then we will know how much I can open each of the valves. This will also help me because I don't know if this, I know this has been decked, but I don't know by how much. So next thing to do is I have a plate that you put down and you use a dropper and you measure the actual combustion volume. And that's going to tell me compression ratio. This is a 69 cc combustion volume from the factory, or from Trick Flow. Obviously that's going to be a little less because it was decked, but I do think that when he built this, they blended some of the curves and the machine marks in the bowl. They called it their bowl blend. What that means, I have no clue. Did they make it better or worse? Who knows? But if they took a little bit of material out, that will add some combustion cc, which will then bring down the compression ratio. I'm not gonna try to change the compression ratio this time. Eventually, if the cam has a boatload of clearance, he could say, I would prefer you to deck this another 30 thou and bump compression up a point or a half a point instead of getting an extra, 30 thou of lift. I don't really know anything about building LSs and camshafts, so I'm gonna let the professionals tell me what to do with that. So now let's jump into the next day when I have the plate and let's measure this combustion volume. All right, now that we're done working on the heads, let's check what bearings look like, I guess. I suppose that's the next logical step. All right, looks like oil. It's got a little bit of jazz. One little speck of something, it's blue. Might be a gasket. I I guess nothing seems too bad. There's no chunks, which obviously we weren't expecting any. And yeah, this is the dry sump. So we'll throw this in the parts washer, get it all cleaned up. Oh, I see more blue. Yes. There's an O-ring, it looks like. Kind of has a rubbery material. This video took a turn for the worse. Something did happen inside the motor and it's not looking good. Oh, I really thought this was gonna just be a simple thing. If you look down in there and if it will focus, I took a piston out, but the bottom of all the pistons are pretty beat up. Like a BB was being flung around. Okay, that's not great. Cylinder walls, all okay, that's good. But I got nervous for a second, so let's check the filter. Well, the filter looks like hot garbage. And I noticed there's a lot of sparklies, but there's also a lot of blue crap in there. And I noticed that when I took that, I think the pan off, I said, oh, here's a chunk of something blue. And I'm like, where is there blue? And then I remembered that in the springs, there is the blue, I don't know, something. And in these last two springs, it is not there. And there's metal chunky things that I can move. So something in, I don't know, the spring seat or something broke, I think. Maybe even part of the bottom of the spring broke, went down in past, I don't know, the return for the push rods or something. I don't know. Either way, it made itself into the block. Now we come over here and we look at more bad news. This is the piston. You can see there's just like a BB'd mess on it, as well as the bottom of the dry sump. It just has this peppered look to it. Obviously it had to have been something steel. There's just little indents everywhere. So I went ahead and I've taken the pan apart. I can't find anything. Back to the piston. Piston, not good. I go, oh, how much worse can it be? Bearings, not great. My simple pull the heads off and measure for a camshaft just turned into a full rebuild. I pulled one of the main caps. The bearings don't look bad, but they look bad enough that while I'm here, I need to replace them. Also, something was flying around in here and I need to find what it is, because whatever's in the filter doesn't look like it's big enough to do the damage that it did. Maybe it's still around in here. I've obviously turned the motor upside down and stuff. Nothing's like fallen out, but yeah, looks like this is gonna be part one of a motor rebuild. Yay! So now I have to finish the wide body and reassemble a motor. So I think it's just now. I gotta pull the front cover off, pull the back cover off. I was gonna do those anyway so I could realign this, but now I gotta pop the crank out. Pistons, I don't know, I might, I'll just pull everything apart. Pull it down to a block, wash the crap out of it, and restart. I love my life.